Hey guys, welcome to Video 11. Yes, I'm slacking, I know, don't remind me. Anyway, so I was gonna make a video about something totally different, but I'm gonna delay the original idea, the original topic, to kind of ask you a question. So for you guys that do know me and know what the situation is, which is not a bad situation. I'm in China and I'm teaching English and I'm having fun and it's awesome. So yeah, it's a pretty good situation. So far so good, right? I'm 6 months in and my contract ends in about 6 to 7 months. I can renew if I want to. Everything's fine. I was talking to one of the other teachers and he's an older guy from Canada. He's like his 50s or something. And we were talking about people, some of the teachers that have degrees and don't have degrees, and what other things that we can do. We were just talking, um, and he kind of brought to my attention that the older you get and the longer you wait to like get your degree, get your bachelor's degree or something, then the more difficult or more irritating it may be. Now, my problem with that, like I'm 2 years and I can get my bachelor's, right? And like a couple math classes in 2 years, and I can get a bachelor's degree, which is fine. But there's two problems. Is one, I don't want to live in New York City anymore. I'm sick and tired of New York City. It's a great place to visit, not a great place to live. I'm tired. I've been there way too long. The second thing is my main focus as far as what I want to do with learning has pretty much been into languages, Japanese, now Chinese. And it'll be much harder to do it from New York City than it would be from the actual country itself, right? So I had a couple options on my table. One being I can go to Temple University. It's an international school in Japan. The only problem is that their tuition is like about 14 grand per term, so like probably 14 grand a year or every 2 semesters. I'm not exactly sure, but the point is that it's a lot of money, right? So that's one option though. I'll still be in Asia, I'll still be in Japan, I'll still be learning a language that I want to learn, right? The other option is just go back to school in New York City, go back to living in a studio apartment, go back to that regular daily grind thing of working and going to school and struggling to pay rent and having to choose between where I want to have fun today or do I want to make sure I have dinner. It's just totally irritating. Frankly, I really don't want to live in New York City unless the price is right, you know what I'm saying? And New York City is very, very expensive, and I don't have the luxury to really afford to live there how I would like to, You can't live in New York City without money. And what I mean, yeah, you can live there, but you can't live. See, I'm in China and I can live, if you know what I mean, right? I don't have to worry about money. I don't have to worry about rent. I don't have to worry about how much am I spending for dinner throughout the week or throughout the month. Do I have enough groceries? Am I going to have enough money between food and transportation and going to school? And do I have enough work hours this week? Am I going to be able to keep my job? I don't have to worry about any of those things, but in New York City I do, and then I have to worry about school. The third option is that I can say screw all that, take out a truckload of loans and just go to school full time and finish as fast as possible. The only downside to that is I really don't want to take out tens of thousands of dollars in school loans, and I don't want to rack up all that interest and spend all this time paying back student loans and paying back all this interest and ending up in a field that I don't want to work in. Frankly, I can work in China, I can work in Spain, I can work in Russia, Poland, Thailand. I can work anywhere I want, just teaching English and have a really laxed out lifestyle, and it's fine. However, I do feel it is important that I get my bachelor's degree, right? And I'm pretty sure you guys would agree with me on that. But the way to go about it, it just seems is impractical. It's just not something I want to do as far as the means to go to attain it. If I can do it in an international school in another country, I'll do it, but I really don't want to do it in New York City. So with that said, the most convenient option is New York City, and ironically, it would be the most cost-effective option because doing it anywhere else would actually cost me more money, right? So what do you guys think? I would really like to hear from you guys. I really would like to hear some suggestions, because I have about 6 to 7 months, so I have a lot of time to make up my mind. But I'm basically faced with the choice: do I want to go back to New York City and go back to what I was doing so I can finish school and get it out the way and then carry on my journey? There's a very good chance that if I do that and I go back out and just travel the world and teach English or whatever, I'm probably not even going to end up using the degree, which kind of bugs me. I don't want to go to school and spend all that time and money and effort to end up saying, well, you didn't need it, right? There's been situations where I've gotten hired over people that have bachelor's degrees because social skills, speaking, being interpersonal. And damn, it's kind of a slap in the face. There's a lot of people that get their degrees, they don't get a job in their field or anywhere close or anywhere related to, and that's also a very irritating point. So yeah, I do think it's important. I do think it's pretty vital, but at the same time, it's like I don't feel that it is necessary for me to have this piece of paper to tell you, hey, I'm dedicated and educated enough to do a good job. No, I don't need that, but to prove it to other people, apparently you do. So that's kind of what my options are. If you guys have any suggestions, have any other views, maybe you guys can think of things that I haven't thought of what I can do, then by all means. But I think it is important that I do make a decision sooner than later, right? Because if I go to stay in China and I work here for, let's say, 2 to 5 years, if I go back to New York City when I'm like 28 or 29 and say, I want to get my bachelor's degree now, then that's going to make things a little more complicated, I think. So the sooner I can do it, the better. But at the same time, I don't want to deal with going back to that same situation. It's not somewhere where my mind wants to go again, you know? That lifestyle was just so repetitive, irritating, aggravating, stressful, and I really don't want to do it. Anyway, so I'll see you guys on the next video. I'll try to get it up actually tomorrow so it can be back to our regular international topics from China, which my original topic was actually in the club or in the bars and talking about the differences between the bars and the clubs in New York City as opposed to the bars and the clubs here in Dongguan and Guangzhou. Actually, yeah, I took a trip to Guangzhou, which is a pretty nice city in China, so I'll talk about that. I won't talk about it right now because that's for the next video. So guys, please send me your comments, your suggestions in regard to this particular video. It's very important that I hear from you guys and that I get different points of views on this. Alright, thanks a lot. See you next time. Peace.